All right. The last word with Ebontis. We are live. What is going on, sir? How you been, man?
I have been amazing in the last how long was it? Yeah, about 12 hours ago. It's been a good evening last night, so I got the chance to see the greatness,
Oh, jealous.
and that's all I'm gonna say.
Jealous.
If you guys are watching the video,
This man is sort of endgame.
it's ear to ear.
Nice, nice. So, non-spoiler accepted review is wow, the double. Wow. All right, one last quick non-spoiler question. I know it's hard, but
You're like, all right, so
ranking. Let's just talk some ranking. Let's just where is it in? Is it in the pantheon of greatness? Top five.
it's got to be up there. It's got to be in discussion. It's a different movie, and I want to watch it again because,
Yeah.
like, I want to focus on it more on the second time. I'm going to see it again Sunday. But it's different. Like, it depends on what, like, you're going for. I mean, Infinity War was Thanos' movie. I've heard people kind of describe it that way, and it absolutely was. This is a different movie, but it's hard to rank because honestly, this is like the best series finale I've ever seen.
Wow.
For like a TV show, because you've got 22 episodes, and this is your series finale. Like, and it's phase 3. I mean, technically, phase 3 goes through Spider-Man, but
That's you say that. Okay, I'm getting confident. I'm getting real confident.
And for everybody's knowledge, there is no post credits.
Yes. Shout out to Attic. He told me the same thing.
Yep.
And when I tried to like complain, he was like, "No, trust me, you'll be satisfied." I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah, no post credits.
okay."
It's don't need them. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. I see it Saturday. I can't wait to talk to you about it.
I see it again Sunday, and then also within the same day on Sunday, we have Game of Thrones episode 3.
Woo!
Which, like, that's an emotional roller coaster of a day with those two together. Like, I'm gonna just be like fried.
Let me tell you, right? I low key, I'm dreading that more. Like, I'm not ready for that because if you've seen the last episode, I know you have, and anybody who's fans of Game of Thrones, it's like they are setting us up in vintage Game of Thrones fashion for the tragedy. So it's know that, it just sucks because these are beloved characters. We've all seen these character arcs. We've been with these characters over 8 years now. Like, you've seen the growth, and to know that we could lose so many of them is like, woo, man. Anyway, so like I say, we got Game of Thrones. For me, I had NFL draft this week. It's just geek and sports and just all types of busyness for me.
It's just overwhelming.
Yes,
too much input, shutting down.
Yeah, so we got this Destiny stuff to talk about, some looter shooter stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we're literally like, this is talk about like the low key, no planning podcast right here. I texted him last night like 9:30 because I know you're up and I'm getting out home from the movie. And be like, we still doing the podcast tomorrow? He's like, yeah. I was like, okay.
Absolutely. We don't miss a beat, man.
No, we good.
Once we get under that mic, it's synergy once again. So let's talk about this thing, man.
Before we do, I want one other piece. I finished my first playthrough of Sekiro. And that last boss fight was 9 damn minutes long. 9 minutes. Bro. But did you watch it?
Yes. Salute you and your persistence. Like, let me tell you about that game. Watching you play that game, it is such a mental marathon. It is the epitome of gaming toughness, is what I call that game. And it will break you. And one thing about you is you got that cool, calm demeanor. So it's like you're like the sage. Like you talk yourself through. And then even when you did that run, didn't you kind of tweet? You were like, "I'm just gonna do a practice run, get myself kind of going."
Yeah, like.
And then he beats it.
It's like I mean, the last boss is a pain. There's no question it's ever going to be an easy fight in one of those games, and this one is no different. It's got multiple phases to it, sadly, and the phases kind of escalate and stuff like that. And it was kind of the way, like I was describing the fight last week, but just to a different level, because last week was like a Dark Souls fight and reminded me one of the most of them, because there's no parrying, no blocking when you fight this demon. There's no anything with most of what you've learned in the mechanics in the game. This fight is every single boss you fought in the game combined in one, being like precise timing, looking to read their moves, like all the little pieces are smashed together in one. Oh, and it's just like, hey, you get through one phase. Okay, now you're on phase 2. Oh, I got whooped in phase 2. Okay, let me go through phase 1 again. Oh, crap, I just died in phase 1. And it's just this kind of building to where it's like, all right. And I worked on it some like off stream, and I had a little short stream here and there. That stream was like 35 minutes when I did it, because it was short, but I had worked on some to where I was feeling comfortable. I was like, all right, I was getting through phase 1 comfortably. All right, I was getting through phase 2, like pretty consistent and comfortable. It's like, and I know if I can do that, it's if I can put the pieces together, I know I can make it happen. It's like, and then phase 2 happens. Like, okay, I'm getting through phase 2. Okay, we're getting close. Now I know I got a lot of heals left. We're in phase 3. Oh, crap. Okay, so it's like in my mind, I'm like a duck on a pond. I may be okay on the outside, but I'm losing my crap on the inside. So my heart rate's probably like...
You keep it together. You keep it together, man. Like I said, that is a tremendous feat. That game, man, I mean, a 4-phase end boss, and then I'm seeing the unblockables, and then you have to have the perfect parries to do these damage phases. I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna leave that to the. I just don't need that level of stress in my life, bro. Like, I give you credit, man. Like, that thing is like tension, man, all day. Shout out to you. Shout out to Addict.
That's all he got his. Well. I think I inspired him because I got mine, and his was done the next day.
And I want to give you props because he was talking slick in your streams. Let's call out Lord Addict now. He's talking in your streams. Oh, you didn't beat this. Oh, you're doing this wrong. And then my boy Ebontis, the soloist, did it first. So Game Addict, get your stuff together. All right, it's the guy right here.
But it's been quite a journey. It's like that game is fun, and there's bosses I didn't even face. There's a completely different ending. So, and it's honestly one of those that now I've gone through it once. I would play it again, and it would be certain things would be faster. There's one I would have to learn, but I've seen different reviews, and now that I've actually beaten it, I kind of watched more like reviews, in-depth spoiler rankings, bosses, things like that I had tried to avoid because I'd honestly gone pretty much blind on the whole thing. And like everybody has different opinions. Like, is Souls better? Is
I was gonna ask
Sekiro and things like that. And honestly, I think one of the videos I watched said it well, and I can't remember which one. So shout out to you if you said it. Not trying to steal it. For those who are fans of the series, they were able to make you get the feeling you probably had the first time you played the series. Okay. The feeling of like having to learn again. The feeling of like, I hate the term get good, but the feeling of having to truly learn what the game wants to teach you. And to get those true senses of accomplishment in those fist pump moments. Because if it was Dark Souls 3, if you played Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, and Bloodborne, and Dark Souls 3, you get a feel, and the people who are good at those are going to still be good at a Dark Souls game. They just have to learn maybe the nuances of the newest game, but they're going to have a pretty good idea. This one basically broke you to learn. You had to learn a completely new style. It flipped it on its head.
Yeah. That's literally what I said.
And they were able to still keep their difficulty, still keep all the sense of the core feeling of a game, but in a completely different feel. That's and honestly, man. For me, I had a blast. So
that's what's up, man.
Shout out for me on Sekiro. That's definitely a high game for the year for sure.
Absolutely salute.
Okay, sorry. Just had to say that I actually crossed the finish line this week at least one time. So.
That was a big accomplishment. Now you got to pump your chest out with that one. That was a big accomplishment.
But in the world of Destiny, we got some topics, and I think I'm going to be letting you lead some of these discussions, but we will get some of this going here.
You want me to lead with how I've been lately?
Hey, we gotta have opinions. I've been I got the positives out of the way. I got the goods. Now we gotta. Hey, we're gonna have some tough talks about a couple things. So, So Iron Banner has been live this week in Destiny. For those of you guys that have been living under a rock, Double Valor is available now. Triple is available for the weekend. They do touch on one thing. They said last week we covered some sandbox tuning, or some sandbox super tuning that's on its way for Destiny 2 update 2.2.2 for May. We don't have a date on that one yet. And today we will be looking at some changes currently in development for Season of Opulence, which is a bit further out. Read on to learn how pinnacle hand cannons of Destiny will be changing.
Interesting.
So they said balance the bite. At the release of Destiny 2 Forsaken, 2 pinnacle weapons became available for players to earn in competitive. Each weapon has a unique quest requiring mastery of the hand cannons to complete. There's been a lot of feedback on how the Crucible hand cannons stand above most other weapons in the sandbox. Today we'll be going through some of the balance changes planned for Season of Opulence. So you've got until Opulence. They're giving you time. They wanted to start this conversation early to ensure players understood that changes were coming, even if they were still on the path to acquire these rewards. Here's the Destiny team. So I'm going to let you take this. Like, I want you to break down what the changes are, because you're the Crucible guy. So let's see.
Yeah, so we want to talk about what straight from the dev team part, right? All right, so here's a preview. All right, yeah, Opulence, yada, yada, yada. All right, so here we go. So Magnificent Howl, the unique perk on these weapons, is too effective. It works in a neutral setting and rewards players for getting precision shots, something they would have done naturally. As a result, the time to kill of the game shifts to meet this new benchmark, and players feel that the majority of primary weapons in Destiny 2 cannot compete with these pinnacle weapons. Our current plan is to make Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten the only 150 RPM hand cannons. 150, y'all. Used to be 180. They will maintain some aspects of their current behavior while taking on the firing speed and damage of the 150 round per minute hand cannons. Magnificent Howl will also be adjusted so that it increases only body shot damage, resulting in 2 headshot, 1 body shot kill. Magnificent Howl will still give an advantage due to requiring less precision hits for optimal time to kill. Like we do whenever Destiny gameplay involves, we will be watching the conversation starting today on our plan changes. We'll continue collecting feedback once these changes go live during the beginning of the Season of Opulence. If you have feedback now, please make sure to sound off in the Destiny 2 forum right here on Bungie.net. Oh boy, we got a lot to unpack here as the cops pass by me. They have a lot to say as well.
They're working. Yeah,
they working. But yeah, man. I mean, let me let you start off because I got a lot to say about this, and I'm the Crucible thing, but I'm curious on your perspective first. As far as, where do you feel, what do you feel about this? About the changes? Do you think this is fair? Do you think it's too harsh? Where are you at with this? I know you don't play competitive a lot like that, but just in general, based on what you've read and how it sounds.
I'm just looking over firing rates on some other ones because somebody was asking, trying to see what because Thorn is 150.
150, yeah. So basically, they're going to be going into the one Luna's Howl, Magnificent Howl, were formerly 180s that are now going to go into the 150 class.
And Spare Rations is 150 as well.
What does it sound like to you? What does it feel like to you? And just be honest. I know we may be on different sides.
So I mean, they have a tough balance. Like, they are very apparent in Crucible, especially when you get into quick play, and it's kind of a tough thing for people who are trying to acquire those guns to go in and face like half of a team that has it already when you're trying to get it. In quick play, I mean, you can take it in quick play, it's totally fair, but it is definitely going to put you at a decent advantage if you've like worked to actually get the gun to somebody who doesn't have it at all. So I mean, it is a good gun, but also the journey it takes to get these things is not easy. Especially Not Forgotten. Not Forgotten is next to impossible for most people. So that one is the fact that and from what I'm seeing, now the perk adjustment is one thing. That one actually seems a bit more, that totally changes the time to kill for sure. Right. The 150 RPM, what were they? 140s?
140s, I believe. I mean, because I think it's what we got. Better Devils and all that is, I think, 140.
Yeah, 140s are Better Devils, stuff like that. Yeah. What was it? Wait, what were they? Were they 180s before? Is that what they were?
Yeah, they were 180s before.
Okay,
so basically it would fall in that archetype, I believe. I think Malfeasance is 180, I believe. So basically, like, the faster fire rate, they 180s tended to be the meta as far as hand cannons and PvP are concerned.
I mean, 180 that can two-tap you. I mean,
yes.
So I mean, in a reaction speed of like any other, like, I can two tap almost, but my go figure is going to be slower, and I got to hit all my shots. But I mean, go figure a blast furnace. If I do truly 2-tap somebody with my go figure, it feels really good, and that's pretty damn quick. But if you can 2-tap with a 180, one of the faster style hand cannons, it is a point of it's tough. But also in turn, the journey to get there is hard, and taking away the reward to get there is also, and this is where it was like, Bungie's screwed either way. So it's like they have a gun that might be slightly out of whack, but to a point where I don't have like a great answer, because like you're crapped either way, because the perk is the weird one though, because you take Magnificent Hell, so that increases only body shot damage, so it can do 2 headshot, 1 body shot, so you now need 3 instead of 2. Right. So it definitely changes the speed of it slightly a lot. Right.
Which puts it in the 3-tap class, which are currently, there's a bunch of other 140s, 150s that kind of can 3-tap now. So it's kind of in that thing. So it's kind of like a double thing, because you got the RPM change, and then you have the perk adjustment kind of deal. But I was gonna jump in if you don't mind.
No, go for it. Because like for me, it's like I'm torn. I'm sitting there thinking through, and I was thinking about it yesterday. I was like, I honestly don't know, because like touching what those people worked for is rough, especially not Forgotten, because getting to 50 to getting to Legend. The way things have been, especially if you think about it on PC too, is like it is such a brutal place to be in. So touching the reward that you set up in there, and I think honestly, shout out to Tassie. I'll let you do it, because you might say the same thing.
Finish up your shout out.
I was like, shout out to Tassie. His thought on it this morning was mostly just the fact that if you did have this theory, you should have done it within about 2 weeks, not 6 months.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, I'm kind of surprised. I think we actually in the same boat, kind of. I am torn, because it's like, look, y'all know how I feel about PvP. And at the end of the day, it's like the mode as itself right now is not in a good place as far as the population is concerned.
Yeah.
And, you introduce these pinnacle weapons, right? You introduce these things, these triumphs for people like myself who are hardcore, who, really want to play competitive and grind for these kind of pinnacle weapons. And again, I got to speak from 2 perspectives though. There's the PC perspective, and then there's the console perspective, right? Now on PC, when I'm in the Crucible, when I'm in comp, yes, there's going to be times where I go against teams of Howls, teams of, not Forgottens. And yeah, it can get sweaty. There's no doubt about it. But I've never felt, because of the way the weapon is designed, it's very stable, it's very accurate. Yes, it has the option to 2-tap once those perks and all that's enabled. But the weakness, in my opinion, was always range, right? If I kept distance, shout out to my Vigilance Wings, and other little, stuff, pulses and stuff, I could always handle them, And I'm not trying to make this a get good situation. The weapon is strong, but did I feel like, oh my God, it's nothing but Luna's Howls, and it's, oh my God. I personally never felt. I'm just going to speak from my experience. Yeah. I never felt the weapon was so ridiculous that, there had to be something done. Now, shout out to the Black Link. Shout out to Planet Destiny, those guys. Yep. He has got a fantastic video out right now on this. And me and him are kind of on the exact same page, where the issue is, from what I'm hearing, because me and you, remember, we made this, we made the jump on PC. So console, I heard it's running wild. That's where it's running wild. Okay. So console, and here's the problem with console. Because of Bloom on hand cannons on console, that affects it more. Like Luna and Not Forgotten, they kind of get out of that. They're in the 180 class, so they're exempt from that on console. So that's why they even stand out more, where you have more of the Bloom with the 140s and other RPM classes. You see what I'm saying? Yep. Now, what they're saying is it's going to retain the factors of 180 on console, so that it's not going to have the Bloom effects. You're not going to have to be missing your shots and all that. So it retain the major feel. But I guess at the end of the day, I just struggle with a double nerf. You know what I'm saying? An RPM change and a perk change. And then we're also not forgetting, a lot of people use this gun in PvE. Yeah. So as the damage increases, like it was really effective. So now that changes. And I'm just of a mindset, like Tassie said, where it's like, this gun is extremely hard to grind for. Like if you look at the stats, like I'm almost close to getting it now on PC.
Yep.
And I mean, the hand cannon kills, the headshots, the solar kills, the getting the fabled ranking, the legend, whatever it is. This is not easy.
Yeah.
And I can understand, again, if this gun was completely broken, if this gun was just raining terror, I don't see it. So I struggle with this, man, especially with Crucible not being a good place. So, I mean, they felt the need to do this. I'm not really pleased with it. I maybe one of the nerfs, maybe shot the Forte. He said, yeah, it's a grind, bro. It took me forever. Yeah, man, it's tough, man. And I feel bad. Like, there's people, who put in this work as a pinnacle weapon, and they're going to say, hey, you're casualizing this now. You know what I mean? You're completely casualizing this. And this is one of those things where it's just like, I don't think this was necessarily the right way to go right now, especially with Crucible in the state that Crucible is in. It's like every day, and we'll get into the Revelry in a bit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, as a Crucible player, every day I feel like, boom, another punch to the gut. Boom, another slap to the face. I feel like the stepchild. Like, I feel like that. I love Crucible, bro. I love it. I mean, I know it's not perfect, but it's my favorite thing. And to see it not being played and to see it, in a bad spot, struggle with it, man. Absolutely struggle with it. So we shall see what happens, and apparently they're still going to take feedback, and this is going to debut on Season of Opulence. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing. And I think Tassie it's their slowness to act on some of this stuff. If they have data, if they see that it's either the testing up front or their testing crew doesn't have a wide variety of skill levels for PvP to either see how this thing's going to pan out. And it's not an easy thing to test without getting it in millions of people's hands. But I mean, I am also kind of with you. I see it sometimes. But even on PC, I don't see it everywhere. And again, that may be a PC versus console thing. So, I mean, more people on PC, it may be sweaty, and they're like, oh, God, I'm not going to go grind for it here. But if you're saying it's everywhere on console just because the player base is bigger maybe or something like that, especially even Luna's, I don't know. But yeah, it's the double hit is weird. It's they slowed it down so it won't fire as fast. But what actually bugs me is that it increases only body shot damage. So if somebody is actually good at hitting precision shots, you make them not actually do that, which is a weird thing in my head, honestly. So
here's the other thing I want to, before I forget this point too, is dude, there are other options out there. Shout out to Forte, he's on it. Ace of Spades is out here. You got Recluse out here. Vigilance is strong. You've got a lot of options that can still compete with this thing. And then I believe, even if you don't get it, dude, you can get Service Revolver. I believe it's in that same class. I believe it's 180 RPM. Malfeasance I've been rocking, that's in 180. There are viable options that if you don't have these guns, you can compete and be just as dominant. So again, I don't feel it was the vibe I'm getting is that they must have some statistic on console.
Yeah.
And that they are so worried about this on console. And again, why not buff other things? You know what I'm saying? Why not? I just don't. This is a hard weapon to get. To really knock this down a couple of pegs, you really de-incentivizing people to do that grind when people are not playing competitive Crucible like that anyway. So, I struggle, bro. I really do struggle with this one.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what more people. Honestly, I'll wait for people Fallout, Astacross, let those guys weigh in, see what their thoughts are when this actually goes live, see what they have the changes are, but they've also got, it's a weird balance right now. It's kind of odd.
Yeah. And then I want to shout out to Dramatic. He said, trust is my goal. Yeah, if you got a good roll trust, you're in a good spot. Shout out to Kuchinami. He said the low TTK isn't fun. But it's bro, shout out to Gortaka, PC Ace of Spades to me is way more dominant because at the end of the day,
I think it's a beast.
I can aim down sights and I got my radar with Ace of Spades. You move, I'm knowing what you're doing. That's a huge advantage, just natural awareness advantage. Then if you get the Memento Mori and you get in the butt, bro, Ace of Spades, I forgot about Ace of Spades is out here. It's really doing some things out here. So, yeah, it's again like, was I like, oh my god, those lunar howls? Oh no, like
Yeah,
it wasn't
one of those that I just haven't really had that complaint. It's not like, well,
or
like
make it
like a whole
exotic.
different issue in Crucible, like, but I mean, it is a pain in the butt to get it, and I didn't never. To me, maybe I'm not in the sweaty playlist or whatever. Who knows? But even if you in comp somewhere, you're like, yeah, sometimes it's there, but there's still options. Like, I mean, I mean, there's it. It feels like a weird. It feels like a weird time.
Yeah,
it feels like a weird, and that's why I was like, Tassie's thoughts were on it. Were like, I mean, opinions on how the gun's going to work is one thing, but just the timing of the update is just. Like, it should have been quicker. I mean, that's kind of the issue with things taking so long, or the data, and be like, oh, well, 6 months later, or crap, almost 8. It just feels like it takes way too long to make a change. So then people who have like, hey, this is my gun, my baby, I've had it for like, it'd be like taking my Go Figure and nerfing it now.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
I mean, it would be something that's been in the game for however long. It should be set. Like, if you were going to change the way a gun like that works, you should have done it long ago. So
exactly. So that's pretty much. I'm not gonna beat the thing to death. I mean,
no, but I mean, it's just weird. We're both on the same. Like, I didn't.
Yeah, we're on the same.
I didn't feel like I was getting slapped upside the head with it all the time. So
Yeah.
I just feel like it's kind of. I mean, if they don't touch it, you know, maybe I need to go into comp and get my butt whooped some. Who knows? But in general, we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of the next topic, we got the Revelry Verdant Light. So last week, Revelry Orbs were disabled in Gambit Prime, Raids, Competitive Crucible due to an increase in guitar errors and activity disconnections. As multiple sources of progress for the Verdant Light competitive triumph are no longer available, this team has been investigating a change. Basically, what they're saying is you won't probably get it during, but afterwards, if you're going for the emblem, they're going to change the requirement from 200 orbs. Basically, you're going to have to get it in Quick Play, Rumble, or the featured playlist, which is Iron Banner. They're going to take it from 200 to 20. So you're not going to need that many orbs. That might take you like 10 precision kills that pop. If you play a decent amount, you'll probably have it. But Crucible right now, is that somewhere you want to be, sir?
We're going to talk about this because I got some revelations to debut on the last word.
Door has been opened, sir. Yeah, let it flow.
Listen, bro, I got to make my official statement now.
Can we get a lower third right now? Scrolling, Lord Cognito with the official statement on the state of the Crucible. Currently going live in 3, 2, 1. We've got him live, Johnny. All right, here we go.
Listen, I'm sorry, y'all. I know I've been very negative last couple of weeks. I know I've been very, very aggressive and agitated with Ebontis lately when we have these Crucible discussions. But the reality is, until further notice, Lord Cognito will not be playing Destiny until the Revelry is over. I am done with the Revelry. I want no parts of the Revelry. I think this is a cataclysmic mistake in Bungie history in a while. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen boneheadedness like this. And the reason why I say it is because, again, I know I am in the minority, right? I know that the majority of you guys, you play PvE, play your Nightfalls, you play your Strikes, you do your Gambit. Cool. For a guy like me, PvP is something near and dear to my heart. I am the only person, probably, and one of the few people that get excited when Iron Banner comes around. Even when the weapons are terrible, even when everything is as bad as it is, Lord Cognito's like, yes, I can hear Saladin say, the wolves are on the hunt, and I can get my special lockdown thing. You know, I play comp. I made the transition from console to PC. I've been in a good groove. I've been grinding. I was so close to getting my Luna's Howl, of course, and then this happens. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Revelry. And the Revelry happened. And it started last where we talked about it. I thought someone was hacking my game. I didn't know what was going on. I was trying to cap points and countdown, and there was just hunters running around with Shinobu's vows and skip grenades all over the place. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, what do I not know that people are doing? And I saw what it was. It was the infamous grenade bar. And the reality is, if you are a competitive PvP player, right? It is so demoralizing to see people play with this lack of skill You know what I'm saying? And it's just this cheese and this spam. And this is the new meta, the spam. It's literally like mayhem is in every aspect of the game. Now for PvE, you guys, I get it. It's fun. You're doing your strikes. You're having a blast. You're blowing up stuff. You're going through the raid. You like it. For PvP, it is horrible. It is horrifying. It is the worst thing. Like my competitive soul has been extinguished with this because it is just the cheesiest cheap tactics. And I refuse to play like that, man. I really do. And it's like I said, I know I'm probably the only person crying out here. No one's really caring, but that's how I feel. And I'm not going to do it to myself. I tried it. I even said, you know what? You know, one of them, if you can't beat them, join them kind of deals. Yeah. And I did the nasty meta and the silly loadouts. And I'm like, this is fun. And I refuse to let my ranking just get, shout out to Sake Free. It is, thank you, brother. He said, it's demoralizing to watch your rank drop back about 200, 300 points after you know I've been playing the right way. And guys are out here getting free lunch with all these terrible tactics. And it's just, it's sad. I can't do it. I can't do it, man. And here's the last thing. And forget about now the Crucible. The last part of my rant is just that at the end of the day, Ebontis' face is so funny right now. He's just like, oh my God. Look at that. Your face is classic. But like, here's the thing. It's just, then I look at the rewards. Let's say if I don't even want to do Crucible, which you know that's not. But let's just say it. Fix your face. The reality is that, you know, we are definitely at a point now where it's like, am I really going for Arbalest that hard? You know what I'm saying? Like, then you got the ornaments that only last during the Revelry. Like, whose idea was this? Like, why? It's just a cataclysmic failure. And then it's 3 weeks. They can't fix the things fast enough. So I'm not doing it. You call me, wake me up when it's over. There's a song like that.
Before you go.
Wake me up when it's over, man. That's where I'm at. Like, I'm not touching this. I refuse. Continue, E. Rant over.
No. I mean, you kind of nailed a couple of the pieces of the Revelry being kind of a multiple strikes against it. Mm-hmm. Feels like it's too long. You don't have to do the PvP one to get the Arbalest, so don't worry about that. Mm-hmm. You can do most of the things you need without it, which is good. Thank God. Mm-hmm. It would have been even worse. But yeah. So, like the ornaments, they're an RNG roll that you have to grind a whole lot of time to get this currency. It takes 75 per bucket. Bucket's totally I got a blue from it. I got a blue gun from that thing. I'm like, screw that noise. I literally, I was like, I'll try a couple. I was like, oh, I got a legendary. I got this. I got a blue gun. I'm like, I'm done. Why is that even in that pool? Why is that even in there?
Why is it in there? And let's be real, like, shouldn't it be more than just the Arbalest for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
3 weeks?
Well, I mean, you have a cosmetic set of armor, which looks better than your normal set of armor. Cosmetic set is random that you're probably not going to get. Perks aren't probably going to be that good. Your set bonus is only going to work while this thing's active, and then that goes away. Your ornament, which shouldn't matter, if you do get a full set magically and you want to wear that thing, your ornament's not even going to work in a week and a half.
Exactly. What's the point? Yeah. What is the point? Isn't that the one with the deer?
Yeah, it's the antlers.
Like,
and they change color per subclass that you're using. Yeah, why? Why? If I have an okay helm, just let the ornament be there. I don't freaking
let it just stay. Like, why is it just like this?
Dramatic, yes, exactly.
I know, low key. I think this is as bad for me as, like, remember what was the haunted one's name? We always call
Haunted Forest.
Not what's the name of the event that it's always the Halloween event? Like, remember, like, the first Festival of Lost? We like,
yeah, Festival.
Like, this is like, again, it's at that territory for me where it's just like, I just don't see the investment. I don't see why. You know what I mean? And then you I'll be honest, you actually did it for me when you told me about the Arbalest and match game, because I was like, all right.
Oh yeah, that was a bummer for me. Just the way I hoped the perk was going to work, and it didn't. So I'm
in the same camp as you, because I thought that would be the perfect match game weapon, right? When that strike comes on,
yeah, everyone
would have, had their little arbalest and whatever. And then you told me, and I'm like, this one's a failure. And I think what they tried to be cute and use this as a stopgap between Opulence, thinking that this was going to be enough meat to hold us. That's not as much, bro. Not as much. So
it's like, now I know we're being Debbie Downers.
Yeah, what's up?
But I have now. It's like taking the crazy grenades into Crucible. That's broken. There's no question. Kind of ruins the fun. If you wanted to have a mode, if you wanted to literally have a mode where it worked, or stick Crucible Labs in the corner, and it's controller clash, and up there in those modes, or even just in quick play in general, something like that, it works. But it was like, comp should never have been there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But I will truly say, when you turn this on, you go Grenadier into a Nightfall. Oh my god, I was having so much fun. Shout out to Havoc and Bender in my late night chat. We were running, and sadly, just because the boss is like time gated, so you have to have the immunity phases. Strange terrain, 6 minutes 55 seconds.
Dope.
Over and over and over. I got my Braytech Osprey. I got my Horror's Least. I got my 2 Nightfall ones that I was missing in about 2 hours.
Bro, I am so happy for you PvE guys, because Destiny community, the devs love you guys. I mean, it's just everything you guys want. You're having fun. And it's like, I'm like in the back of the class with this group of kids.
Stay back.
Yeah, we're in the corner like, you PvP guys, no one cares about you. Like, and I just sit there and I just see all y'all having all this fun. And I'm like, but what about us, man? When are we gonna have fun? When do I get to say yes? It's been a while. And then to compound it with Banner, that's the part that hurts. And again, in their defense, they did come out and say, look, this was a mistake. They did say it. They did say, we didn't intend for this PvE activity to affect PvP in that manner, but because of the nature of the fix, it's server side, they couldn't fix it in time, and the event would be over by the time they fix it. So I understand when they finally got in front of it. It's just like decision-making, guys. You should know. Never introduce this into competitive Crucible. You want to do quick play? Have like a little mayhem fun with it? I'm all cool with that.
Yeah.
But you're now putting this in competitive, bro. No. So again, this is Bungie being cute, doing foolish things. And it's just, I can't. So how many more weeks before this Revelry?
One more. One more week. And shout out to bp.conf. I don't know of a better way to say that. He's asking if the 6 or 7 minute runs on YouTube. I recorded a few of them. We were chatting over it, but I still may upload that one if you want to see it. Basically what we did is, I was a Titan. I think they might have been Warlocks or Titans. But if you have Grenadier on, which already makes them hit harder and faster, we had Arc buff on, so they were all pulse grenades. And then I had some pieces of armor on as well. I literally could not hit Q fast enough as a Titan because I have 2. Could not hit Q fast enough to throw the grenade.
Dude, I'm hearing raids are fun. I give that. I heard raids are really fun with certain parts.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you need to run Shattered Throne,
it's the week.
It's up this week. Go turn that stuff on. Go break the throne, because it's just going to be insanity. So, I mean, that is kind of crazy. It's a lot of, like, that's the stuff, that's what, honestly, like, Arc Week should have had.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those types of things, like, over crazy buffs or something weird, or just goofy stuff that's, like, breaking the game, but we're at a point where things are kind of at a low, mellow moment. But for those who do take a mode seriously, and it is a competitive point to where things can go up and down on your rankings and things like that. Take that crap out of there. Everything else, have fun, be goofy, go nuts. Like, but yeah, for especially the competitive part where that is a serious playlist, don't touch it. Don't screw with that stuff. That is not cool.
My heart was breaking while my rank was going down, and I'm like,
mine went down, and I saw that stuff like Shinobu's Vow just constantly like. I mean, shout out to Fallout being like, guys, probably shouldn't do this, but this is what you can do. It's hilarious, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Wait till you see the movie, one of the movie of the weeks they're promoting. I'm just like, this is the new thing now. That's what we doing.
Sad Fred saying, are you telling me it's a good time to try out that flawless run in Shattered Throne? I mean, if you're ever going to do it,
it's the week.
It's a good try. About the only try you're gonna have crazy grenade buffs. Like, I mean, to a point of being broken. I forget. I mean, depending on your build, like I know Titans, if you got Doomfang, Pauldrons, and Sentinel. Shout out to Esoteric. I stood in the last five bosses in the forest. I just sat there and threw my shield the entire time. He did whisper. He did a whisper run with one super.
Wow,
one super.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
And I think he was doing some of the boss rooms or some of the clears of sections of Shattered Throne the same way. So, I mean, Doomfang Pauldrons and this with that grenade buff, nothing else turned on. Just literally Doomfang Pauldrons, the super, and the grenade buff. Yeah, you're not going to run out.
I'm glad you guys are having fun.
Just saying. I agree with you, though. No, I mean, I agree with you. I'm just like, it shouldn't mess with your... It shouldn't, like... I mean, Iron Banner, honestly, is it still, like, you don't lose much in it. The grenades, like... That's kind of a weird mixed territory, because I know you have your special place for Iron Banner. I know. But I'm saying you don't lose like Valor or anything if it's a weird match where people are abusing it. And I played a decent, and I'll say I played a decent amount of Iron Banner this week. I've seen a few people doing it, but it might be like one person every other match. I don't actually see it nearly as apparent as a comp is literally probably 4 Shinobu's vows just throwing like in sync down a hallway, which is just no.
It's disgusting. But that's all I got on it. So we won't beat anything, but I am holding to my stance unless I get tricked into something, unless you tell me some other thing about something being aside. See, Shattered Throne, I'm like, okay, Shattered Throne's cool.
Yep.
But I'm like, I'm not the bowl guy, so I'm like, do I really care about my thing right now? Like I'm really in a bad spot.
You've done that place, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You just don't have Wish Ender?
Yeah, I did it on a console, but I haven't Wish Ender on a PC. So it's something. You know what I'm saying? So it's
you could knock it out so quick because literally if you blow through it once, you get the quest, and then literally just turn back around, go do the whatever the mission is with all those 3 bosses. It'd be so easy with the grenades; it wouldn't take you long. Like if it's something you do have a little time, you get one other person with you, you'd be fine. Like
I think the only thing I am tempted to do during this whole craziness, this effery is what you call it. I might hit Pyro. I might see how like one of them raids is. See how crazy you can get with certain things. That's the only thing I might do. But it's just like
it's gonna be interesting.
And I'll probably log in for your Zerv. I'm waiting for your Zerv drop. And
we'll talk about that in a second too.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I got.
But shout out also to Bungie. I always enjoy their ride-alongs. I'm not going to be able to catch this one live, but they are doing a Shattered Throne.
Oh, this is your baby. You're going to miss this?
I'm going to miss the live version. I'm going to watch it later on that night. But
you just got something you got to do because this is
your work.
Yeah,
I just got work that night. That's
okay. I was about to say, gotcha.
But no, they're going to do a ride-along just like they do in a raid, talking about the inspirations, where they build, where all this stuff come from. I want to see what insane person built the Vorgath fight. But I also want to see them... Because they developed this and they have the triumphs in the game for the solo, the flawless, and the solo flawless, they built this to be able to do that. And I want them hopefully to talk about like what made them put those like triumphs in there, what made them test this out, what made them build this so it was a 3-person raid but truly soloable. Like, I mean, they built it to be that way. It wasn't easy, but they made it to where it was. And I kind of want to know the whole thought process behind that one. So I'm really curious because for me and all the content, like Last Wish was cool, like the mechanics, but for me, Shattered Throne was like, that was my baby.
That's your baby, yeah.
I've loved that thing since it came out. I wish there were more of them. I love that.
That's what I was just about to say. Just the whole I'm curious to see the concept behind the design on it. And then, like you said, like, will we see more of it in the future? Because it's such a cool concept. And sometimes Bungie does this thing where it's this weird thing where they introduce something so cool and you're like, yo, this is it. And you just assume they're going to continue with it, and then you don't hear from these things no more. And it's just like, yo, what happened? That was, we like that. Like, they do things like that sometimes, just so confusing. So you would like to see the thought process behind a dungeon, 3-man dungeon, like you said, the solo aspect, and just to see, in the future, it's just something that they want to plan to implement again. Because it's really,
So tune into that one. If you don't catch it live, it'll be on their Twitch archives. I'm sure they'll put it up on the website. So watch it at some point. Definitely talk about that one. I'm thinking, I was like, I don't know if next week I'm going to be able to actually. I may be off the podcast next week. Okay. Work is trying to drag me in. If we do, it's going to be like an hour, and then I'm going to have to duck out. So we'll see. Good, brother. Might have to be a short and sweet one. We'll find out.
We'll work around you.
All right. So next piece, the denial of the 9. And this is one of those points where I have to facepalm for a couple of reasons, but this actually brings up a couple different topics. Tomorrow, the 7th invitation of the 9, which as I'm reading this, technically it's today because it's now Friday, in about 3 hours. Invitation of the 9, the 7th one will become available. Before this pursuit goes live, we'd like to make players aware of a blocking issue we're currently working on. Tomorrow's invitation, titled The Tower. Sorry if you guys are getting the sarcasm or disgust in my voice right now. It's probably laid on real thick. Will require players to complete the Hollowed Lair Strike. That's fine. Defeat Hive, Scorn, and Vex on the Tangled Shore.
What was that race? On the Tangled Shore.
Currently, this invitation cannot be completed since Vex are not available as enemies at any location on the Tangled Shore. This issue does not impact previous invitations to the 9. Only the Tower invitation is currently blocked. We are currently working to resolve this issue as soon as possible. Seriously?
This is just great design, man. This is the pinnacle of testing. And I want to hear this one. I want to hear your response on this.
Okay, this started a couple weeks ago when they thought it was a good idea.
With your PvE now, I can't wait. Let's hear it.
This just started a couple weeks ago in poor quest design when they said, "Hey, let's put Hive on Mercury," and I'm like, "Wait, hold on, where the hell are they?" And then people on Twitter are nice enough to remind me you could technically do it on an adventure. I'm like, all right, fair, but
stupid.
Generally, that's still not a good idea.
Exactly.
So this brings up a couple issues with these invitations in the 9. One, we've only had one cinematic since the beginning, so you set expectations, and now you've never had another one again. Not spritzing one like in the 4th or 5th. If you save it for the final one and then you're done, it's going to be kind of a annoying bookend situation. One more cinematic would have gone a long way to just be like, hey, there's one more in the middle. Okay, got one in the middle, then maybe one more. 2, the quest design. So not creative. Go to a planet, pick a couple races, kill. You have to get 9 of these essence to drop, but it's random. So you can't even know if you're shooting the right enemies, if you're on the right planet. Am I actually killing the right ones? So that's annoying. Honestly, an easier way to fix it, hey, go to the EDZ and shoot 50 enemies in the face. Or shoot 100 because you probably have to kill 100 to get these 9 essence to drop. Yep. Like, go make it something you can track, but go make it to where it's not going to be limited by these weird things they made. 3, whoever made this quest and was like, oh, yeah, that's approved, didn't read it.
Clearly.
Seriously, like, I'm sorry, but Vex on Tangled Shore, just, have you played your... I know they play their game. I know they play their game, so how on earth do you say Vex are allowed in the Tangled Shore? How many people looked at this? How many people approved this quest pathing?
Who's signing off on these decisions? Exactly. Revelry, competitive stuff. How do you not know Vex is not on the turn? Who made the game? Like you said, like that. This is.
Yeah, this is just one of those. This is one of my moments of frustration because I'm like, yeah, putting this thing breaking competitive Crucible, not smart at all. Not knowing Vex on Tangled Shore.
Comment, please.
Yeah, but like Vex on Tangled Shore is fundamentally built into your Forsaken expansion for 8 months now. That should not be news. It should not be news. But also, what's annoyed me more is just the fact that the lazy quest design. It has been lazy quest design for every one of these. Pick a strike. Kill some enemies on the planet. Pick a strike, kill some enemies on a planet. You know, if they went through a couple and it was that way, I'd be okay, cool. And then what is the next one? Be like, hey, run these 4 lost sectors, and you gotta go check them off. The names are on the map now. It'd be something different. Hey, go do 2 lost sectors and a strike. At least some variety. Some.
It's the same thing. Drip, drip, drip. Drip feed. Drip feed content. This is what we get. D3 gonna be lit.
Oh my god. For those who are watching the video, I'm sure you enjoyed that. But yeah, so basically, you cannot do the invitation until they fix this. So we are locked at number 7 until they fix this. So this just pushes the cinematic, if there is another one, which they said there was, farther and farther and farther and farther away until it's fixed. How long is it going to take to get fixed? How long does it take for them to change a bounty requirement, put it out in the system, put the patches out, and have everybody get that update? Let's see. Because this is as small of a change as you can make. Change one bounty requirement. How long is it going to take for us to get it?
Dramatic love to dance.
Hey, we do what we do. That's the Iron Lord's dance.
That's the
We're going to send out like a boomerang at Guardian Con of us, just like.
We might have to record that. And yeah, we got that snippet might need to go viral.
Yeah.
Whenever we get
please don't make it that viral. Though. I don't need that out in the universe. But this little tiny thing is what actually makes me question bigger things, and this is what I was kind of talking to you about. Whether it's changes to the Revelry, whether it's this fix, and they're saying they're working to resolve this issue as soon as possible. They can't say it's going to be even in the May patch.
I know.
How is that not like guaranteed? Like 100%. Okay, it's in there. Like how far are no? But it was like, but also like okay. So multiple issues. Like this one's ignorance, and I hate using that word because that's a really kind of deep cut on intelligence. But Vex Untangled Shore, it's pretty lacking in some thought process. Stacking on top of breaking your competitive. The one thing that you kind of want to give people hope for, on top of like Spectral Blade still being an issue, like how slow some of these are, and this is like, so I'm acknowledging your annoyance of choices fully because we talked about that yesterday. I never said that was wrong, but for me is like if they make the bad choices and can't fix them quickly, there are other issues at hand. And that's where I want to figure out what is going on. So whether it's like, I was actually listening to Say No to Rage. He was talking about the engine.
What did he say? I like Say No to Rage. That's my dude. What did he say?
It's like, I don't know if he's too big for us, but I would like to get him on here. Seems like he'd always be a good guy to chat with.
I can work that angle. I've met the young man a couple times in person. He's very cool guy. Yeah,
just good chat. But he was just talking about like I guess the engine they use is the Tiger engine. I actually never heard of it called whatever it was. But just like the name of the title. I mean, we heard about the old engine stuff in Destiny 1, where it's like load up a map for 8 hours and then move a bush and then hope it saves and like all those crazy things overnight. I mean, there's a point where like whatever they're working on for Destiny future, they got to fix the foundation level code on some of this stuff to be able to adapt quicker, adjust things faster, and those pieces need to be able to change because things seem so brokenly interwoven. Like to a point of like I can't touch this weapon stats over here. I'm gonna break the Shattered Throne. Like I mean, how interlinked can stuff be that you can't like? I mean, that was one. I mean, Anthem very broken. We'll get there in a little bit, but they actually made it to where it's like literally here's this thing, here's a Lego brick. We're gonna bolt it onto the side, and they can add things like that. And that's like, and Bungie's been too deep into their current whatever they got. So
let me tell you something, bro. Season of Opulence better be lit. For this, bro, Season of Opulence, if we get round of this, of repetitive quest steps, of 2 to 3 weeks before something get fixed, like it almost feels like everyone's on vacation. Like
what's up, Part 5? How you doing?
What's up, Paul? You know what I'm saying? Oh man, shout out to Abdiel. He's like, at least it's not frostbite engine. Listen,
yeah, that's a whole different argument.
That's a whole different thing. You know, I will say this on a positive note. Obviously, we knew about the summit. You know, for Opulence, we know that's going down. And I did hear for all you PvP guys. I know I've been crying. There's I forget his name. I think his name's Crew. I forget his name. He's one of the top PvP guys on the ranks and leaderboard, stuff like that. And he got invited just recently. So actually, no, forget invited. Excuse me. He just got a job at Bungie. Excuse me.
Oh, wow.
They just hired him, almost like a short-term contract kind of deal, kind of similar to what they did with like Holtz and those guys.
Gameplay
and stuff like
specialist type thing.
Exactly. So when I see that, I say, okay, I'm getting some hope for Opulence. But we have to say, right now, let's just say
it might
what
not
it
be
is.
Opulence. It might be September on that.
Yeah, you might be right too. That might be September.
Opulence is Vicarious.
Right. And but there is, I believe there was a summit though. Wasn't there summit for Opulence?
I mean, there's a summit. Well, to some extent, we gotta wonder what they're looking on. Like,
right.
I mean, if Vicarious has been working on Opulence and they're slowly starting to, get the code probably put together. I mean, we're a month away, roughly. So, I mean, I don't know how much you're really going to be changing. When is the summit? Or when was the summit?
I thought that I got the vibe. I'm going to say like a couple of weeks back. So it almost feels like how they had the summit and it was for Warmind and then Forsaken. Right? Yeah. Because they showed them what Warmind was going to do. They made some changes and then they showed them the behind the curtain of Forsaken. And then they was like, hey, fix that. No, don't do this. You know what I'm saying? And then Forsaken was what Forsaken was. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, they've got some work cut out, man. Because I'm just gonna call it Drifter, Season Drifter. It's not. This is a failure, folks.
Well, I mean, kind of what I said to you, and it's like in a bit of a poking way. I feel like we're now in the beta phase of Destiny 3 because they're like. I mean, I said it yesterday to be like, oh, let's see if we can do something where we can have some fun with this tonic and see what it's. Oh, this is fun. Oh crap, we went too far. We got these set bonuses. Let's try this one little place to see if they work. Okay, we got set bonuses. They technically function. Cool, check that box. All right, let's go throw that in the next mix. They're like testing all these little things. And I feel like they're like little features that they want to make sure work. They want to see how the code functions or something like that. Because honestly, it's just like, yeah, no, it's... Destiny can't stop being a beta access game.
This is what I've been screaming at the clouds. People yelling at me. I'm dying to know the player counts. That's what I want to know.
I mean,
I want to know them player counts. Man. Let's see those numbers. Let's get behind the curtain. Man. I want to see how, like, if this is the route that we're gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's just like, you still got to engage. You still got to keep interest. You still have to have a level of consistency. And at this rate, man, they're just pissing people off. Like, to be honest, I didn't even realize the extent with the 9 thing. And here's the other thing. Let's be real, E. The payoff for these invitations are not outside of that one cinema that we got, right? That we like, okay. And they built us up. So I'm like, if you give us that, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? And you really deep dive story. Reality hasn't been that. It really hasn't. You know what I'm saying? And we just got to call it what it is. Season of Drifter is not a go. And I will say this. Like, I'm almost at the point of saying Black Armory was better. Like, I liked as much as I didn't like the story narrative loop of Black Armory, the gameplay loop was better, I feel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You had your forges, you had your stuff, you had weapons to grind for every week. You can do different, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just liked it a little more better. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was more fun. Like, Drifter, unless you're like this Gambit hardcore guy.
Yeah, it was like oddly very focused. They didn't throw in like, and they haven't. They've done strikes. They haven't done PvP maps, and this has been the weird thing about it. Like, they have done, and this is like their trial of features. They're like, here's a feature we're going to add to this one. But okay, so I mean, some of that stuff takes a while to get out there. But then by the time you get it, it's kind of like, what else? Now, shout out to Vicarious Visions. They did an awesome job on the PC port. Couldn't play much smoother than butter.
Oh, yeah.
And this is their swan song. After this, they're going back to Activision. They're done with Destiny. Yeah. So if they're going to put a final end cap on any piece of this game, they've had the longest time to work on it.
Right.
They've got, they were part of the PC, all of these things. So we've got a shot that hopefully they've been working on it for a while and we get some stuff between both studios.
Yeah, I'm feeling, don't get me wrong, as much negative Nancy as I've been, I feel, I'm not going to say super confident, but I feel good that Opulence should be good. You know what I'm saying? And a raid's coming back. So, that's always a good thing. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. Oh, wow. Dramatic. He says, I'm a hardcore Gambit guy, and I'm so on Season of the Drifter. Oh, wow. That's a big statement.
Yeah.
That's a big statement.
And that's kind of the thing. It's like, you have Gambit. They have Gambit Prime, kind of an evolution of it, which was cool in theory. The limitation of some pieces, the fact that it's only annual pass. Like, if you want to be like, hey, Gambit Prime, okay, annual pass. Say if you got it like a month early, but then hey, throw Gambit Prime to the rest of the world so they can kind of play it too, build your player base up. Because I mean, they're splitting player bases more and more and more and more.
Yeah,
which is getting to be tough. I mean, it's annual pass or not, but it's like if somebody still just jumps on Destiny and be like, oh, this is new. Like, you might have a few more people in there. The people who got, like, the PC game for free, who got some of the expansions and things. Like, just let them try some of that stuff to know what you're working on. So, I don't know. Opulence has I wouldn't say it has a lot of pressure on it because the hopes, honestly, are not that high.
Right.
But it does need to be something reasonable because otherwise it's, you know, going to be a struggle. So
exactly. You sound like me coming around. I like that. My voice coming around slowly. Every little last word, you getting there. We're getting you there. We're getting you there. You get it. You get it there.
Oh,
yeah. What else we got, man?
When you start playing Sekiro, we'll talk.
Mortal Kombat had my attention this week. I'm a big Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah.
How long have you owned Sekiro though? I'm sorry.
Oh, we're not going to discuss that.
I was like, you've owned that for a little bit longer now.
We're going to no comment you right now. Moving along.
Yeah, shout out to the movies of the week. There's some goofy ones, but yeah, grenades are really busted out there, so that's obvious. Shout out to, I think it was Carolina Gamer who posted it up. The Trip Mine Sparrow Strike Insta Boss Kill was hilarious. That was so funny. So that one was actually a really good one to shout out. That was definitely well deserving. So for creativity. But yeah, so there is an emblem out there for all of you insane people. If you need the Wizen Rebuke, which sadly even doesn't have the best rolls, but if you are a collector, you got to get your 500 burden kills. I think I'm at like 91.
Yeah.
So takes a little while.
Takes a little bit.
If you are insane and you want to get 2,500 iron burden kills, there is a emblem that you can get. Kind of looks cool, but woof. 2,500 kills to get in with the burden in Iron Banner, live in an Iron Banner, and there's one more Iron Banner this season.
And there's only one more, yeah. Like, it looks cool though. I mean,
it does look cool, but not worth my time.
Yeah, I ain't done that. That's not happening for me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. At this point, like the Revelry is. I mean, it has some fun. Like, if you're going to go run strikes, yeah, go turn that stuff on. Have a goofy blast. Enjoy it. Now, is there a reason to spend your time in the Verdant Forest? Probably not.
Right.
Once you get your Arbalest, you're pretty much checking out of there. So it's kind of short-lived. There's no increasing difficulty. Level 500 is the same as 1. Like, we've seen all those pieces. So, I mean, right now, if there's other things you need to grind, use the Revelry Tonic. Because if I do a strike, I get 12 Essence or whatever. Do a couple, you know, quick strike runs or something like that. I have enough essence that I don't lose any. So if you are actually speed running strikes, you can actually get stuff back pretty quick. So those are a good thing if you're working on hitting boxes. But other than that, like if you're enjoying stuff in, you know, in Destiny, whether you're working on your Reckoner title, if you're working on certain things, like then enjoy them, have fun, let the game be broken in PvP. No. Right. Don't let it be broken in PvP.
No, let's not do that.
But unfortunately, you got to wait if you're working on comp until this thing is done. And sadly, you want to know the worst part is?
What's that?
The tonic, I don't know if it goes away or if it just stops being useful when you run out of essence.
Really?
Yeah. I'd have to go back and read a previous one, but it's like the tonic is there.
Shout out to Wally.
I know, I've been trying to use tonics, but I'm up to 2,000. He's like, I love how broken so many things are for this event. Yeah.
And they wonder why I'm not playing.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, so it's going to be a little while till things settle back into whatever is left of this season. So if you like a piece of content, if you just enjoy certain things, if you just do your Tuesday run with friends and go play other stuff, do what you're going to do. So right now, Destiny is kind of in a point to where enjoy the stuff that you like, and if you aren't enjoying it, again, go step away.
What's that song? Wake me up when it's all over.
Different song. I don't know.
Yep. That's my Jay. I think Aloe Black. I think he sung that. Wake me up when it's all over, baby. Because I'm not. I'm gonna look that song. I think yeah. Wake me up, Aloe Black. That's the theme song for the Revelry. Wake me up when it's all over.
Yeah, Days Gone came out. That's kind of getting okay reviews. Some people are saying like the voice actors did an awesome job, but the script is kind of okay. The story's okay, but some of the gameplay gets in the way of the story. Like, I hear some ups and some downs. Even like Skill Up didn't actually rip it apart. So I saw his layman. He didn't do a full review yet, but his layman gaming, they were saying, is actually kind of fun. And sometimes it's expectations. Expectations kind of help that one not be like, hey, we expect this thing to be like amazing. No, they don't. So therefore, if it's kind of fun, then it might be a nice break. That's the same, and that's sometimes what you got to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of games that need breaks, we're rolling into the Anthem shot.
Oh, let's get it. Let's get it.
So
Let's
Anthem,
go on.
For one, had a really rough stream because people did nothing but ask about loot, and they weren't going to touch it because they can't answer it yet. And basically, most things for Anthem have been fairly delayed. Yes. They released the new Stronghold, Sunken Cell. It is available to all players who completed the critical path. And honestly, they did a couple quality of life things that are good. They
Actually, one huge
one, but there's a couple other medium ones too. Added the ability to select contracts from the start expedition screen, as opposed to going over to like the boards or anything like that. So that's little. Then we'll get bigger. Added the ability to launch a new mission from the end of the expedition screen without having to return to Fort Tarsus. So that's even better. And this one is the big one.
Let's go for it. What is it?
Added the ability to access the forge during missions, strongholds, and free play. You can now change your gear without having to return to the fort.
Round of applause to Anthem. Salute. Salute, one of the biggest changes. We got to give credit where credit is due.
No, I mean, that is a huge fundamental change to their game. Like, it came out in, was it February? 2 months to go from the foundation of like, you have to go back to the forge to like fix that type of stuff, to now being able to actually change that stuff up on the fly in a mission. That's actually a big one. So, I mean, Anthem has a long ways to go. And I think it's pretty clear when you look at Anthem pretty much delaying. Cataclysm, they have no date for, which honestly kind of figured they should delay it anyway, because it doesn't help you to release a large piece of content in a game that nobody's like, that's not in a good spot. You got to have a working game before you put more content on it.
Yes.
So
it's in a bad place.
Yeah. It's on live support. It's like, the $100 Origin Access. Well, Gaming Forte, if you haven't played Inside yet, that's one I definitely recommend. It's the sequel to Limbo. If you have never played any of those, definitely play those.
Yeah, it's a good game.
And there's some other ones. Your access will probably get you through whatever comes out in September, like that Star Wars game, maybe.
Yeah.
I think Origin Access will have that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Those are from my good friends at Respawn, and I respect those dudes.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, this whole thing with the the updates. First of all, I just want to like the climate right now, dude. Have you seen them message boards when they put out them updates?
Oh, that's rough.
It is so toxic. Bad. It is bad. Like it's really at its low point. And me and you talked about this offline. Like they're at a point where they just literally just got to keep their head down. I feel like they should not pop up until something is ready, until something is, and they have tangible dates for deliverables, right? Because you don't want to say, hey, we're doing this, y'all. And everybody's like, okay, well, when's that happen? Just come up with definite.
Just shut down.
Just shut down. Like they're going to have to do the Division 1 where it was in that bad state. You're just working towards updates. And you do patch work, and then hopefully, not gonna say they can have like a Taken King moment, but they can a No Man's Sky moment where they just
2.0 from Diablo, something.
Like then when they finally have enough of the quality of life stuff done, that then they can just literally put out something, whether it be fall or fall of this year or early next year, however long it take, and then that's how they go almost with a soft reboot, and then just try to build up the base. Because to me, the way I'm looking at it, the way they are now right now. We got to say that this is just preparation eventually for Anthem 2 the way it probably should be.
It has to be.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. That's where this is going right now. So, at the end of the day, I just hope that EA doesn't walk away from them. We don't want Bioware to go away. We know about the situation. We know about the article. We ain't going to get into that. But, it's not good. It's not good. It's been a lot of snafu. But at least keep doing these quality of life things. I think that's important.
Yeah, I mean, those are just basic functions that are slowly going to start to get added in. This one's big.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're ever going to let you see your loot in the missions you pick up. That would be another one that would be big.
The next step, yeah. The next step.
But I mean, steps like this show, like, that's a pretty fundamental change to actually have to put in. Just the way the actual game works. So that's a pretty substantial change that they're able to do. So it shows, like, I mean, that's not like, hey, let's check these light boxes. We're not sure how much we're supporting it. No, they're making some pretty deep changes, so they are working hard. So absolutely. Shout out to those guys, definitely still. I mean, they do not have an easy road ahead. I don't know if the road ahead actually has light at the end of the tunnel right now. I really don't. I don't know if EA can even green light an Anthem 2 until they see what's there, but they have to actually be thinking about it. Otherwise, like, you have to figure out what to do with this whole IP and property you've made. But all in all, it's like, I didn't even max out gear score in mine, and I'll kind of wait, and I might dabble in it occasionally, may do a random Anthem stream at some point to be like, hey, where's it at right now? Let me play a little bit and just slowly eke up my level. But I mean, at this point, the fundamental flying and gameplay like felt really cool, but it's like, let me go like get a scratch and sniff snicker. It's like, let me scratch it. Smells good for a minute. Okay, the smell faded. Okay, let me go play something else. It's going to be a short-lived play if I do touch it right now. So it might just be like, hey, what's the new stronghold like? Cool. And that's probably about it. So
yeah, stronghold. I want to see that little small quality. Actually, I do want to see the cataclysm. Just want to see what that is. But yeah, I'm
cataclysm. No, that's not coming.
Yeah, I know.
So cataclysm, like, there's no date. I mean, and that's a point where we don't know what it was, and we won't know for quite a while. So that's
for quite a while.
Yeah. So. So Anthem, I mean, quality of life still works, but I mean, they got a long road ahead. Toxic chat, like, their stream was brutal.
Ooh.
It was rough. It was just nothing but loot.
Stop. It was that bad? Wow, that's crazy.
But that's the one people want. If people are still actually trying to play the game, they just want the loot to be worthwhile. So,
Absolutely.
And there's only certain places to get, like, I mean, Tassie, again, summarizes things very well. His short, succinct articles tend to get the high notes, and just, like, there's no point really playing much more than Grandmaster 1.
Yeah.
Grandmaster 1.
They just put out a job posting for Loot Guy?
They might have. I feel like I saw something like that too.
I saw a job posting for Loot Guy. So if that's the case, this is going to be a while, y'all. Like, this is going to be a while. We're gonna have to wait. You know, so it's ton of stuff to play.
Yep. And then now the other one of all the things that's going on out there, the Division 2. Have you been playing this much lately, or you've been playing anything lately?
A little bit. I played a little bit this week, but I really got to get back in. I've been dying to get back in, but I just played a little because I think I had Mortal Kombat drop this week. Days Gone, I'm actually picking up because I actually had a chance to.
You're gonna let me know how that is.
Yeah, man, I'm a sucker for the zombie thing, so I'm gonna try it. You know what I'm saying?
Not sure I actually pictured that on you.
Yeah, I've always kind of liked. I've been a low key Walking Dead kind of guy. So, and then this one kind of touches two series for me. So it's almost like Walking Dead meets Sons of Anarchy. Like, I'm a huge Sons of Anarchy dude.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So
that's probably what's stuck in the strings more than, honestly.
Yeah, I got the Jax Teller jacket going on with my man. You know what I'm saying? Deacon St. John, whatever. So I'm a rock. I'm gonna see what's going on. You know, but yeah, shout out to them. If you haven't seen it, I had an interview. Developers at the studio at PAX East, so check that out on Iron Lord Podcast YouTube channel. Days Gone, PAX East coverage. Really got a 3-part series. Look, is it perfect? No, I mean, there's definitely some issues, but it looked fun to me, and I like resource management, so I'm gonna. But enough about that Division. So
I mean, that's fair. That's so yeah, Division 2 right now. Still no. Is there a date on the raid yet or not yet?
Not yet. I believe this is the last patch before they put out what you call it, the what is it, open, I forget the damn thing, I always butcher it, Operation Dark Hours. Operation Dark Hours, I believe. You know what I'm saying? So this is the last update, and prior to that, and it looks like they're doing some recalibration, they're doing some skill mod stuff. On PC there's an issue right now, and apparently since their last patch, I think the 16th, they had some like increased loading times on PC, so they recognized that bug, and they're doing the whole public test server, I believe. So yeah, there's gonna be this huge update, and it's gonna be Title Update 3, and this is gonna be again with the release of the Operation Dark Hours, which is the 8-player raid. So they're still working out the kinks. They're working out some stuff, and I don't know if you got do you have the highlights up as far as the bullet points for the last
Patch
stuff that
notes?
they
No, I don't actually. If you've got them, go nuts. But
yeah, so pretty much it's like, okay, so this is what we're going to be implemented based on their feedback. All right, so gear score range on drops will now be more in line with your agent's current gear score. So to get that kind of corrected, recalibration system will be worked. That's when you go to the table to include the new recalibration score. Recalibrating your items no longer increase the item gear score directly, but will rather increase the recalibration score up to the max of 100. High-end gear marks are being reworked. This is a big one. To be more powerful and logical choice for your agent by increasing their maximum stat roll. That's a big thing, especially like mods are a big part of the game. So that part, it's cool. Reintroducing a new type of skill mods, including called auxiliary batteries, which will include a skill power bonus. And then I believe they're talking about purchasable blueprints for specialized in superior rarity mods. All existing blueprints will be moved over to the inventory. And then here's the key ones that I know me and you talked about earlier, which was as far as the ammo drops. All right, so ammo drops have been increased to ensure that agents do not run out of ammo as frequently on higher difficulties on when roaming the dark zones. Now, this is cool, but there's still an issue going on. And I know me and you talked about this, which is specialization.
Yep, that's the one.
And that's still a problem. Shout out to you, shout out to Tassie. The problem right now is that you grind to level up your character to get these specializations, sharpshooter, what have you. And these could be powerful game changer type stuff. The problem is you don't have enough ammo. And then they want you to do specific things to get that ammo. Yep. You do it and you still don't get enough ammo. So that's the problem. And they've got to figure that out because they are planning on introducing more specializations. But if the current ones aren't, buffed up, then what's the point of this end game tier thing? You know what I'm saying? So they've got to fix that. That's just for me personally. I think that's something that really needs to be addressed. And yeah, I mean, they're getting to that point now. They're gonna have to drop this raid now. I've been very, but we're getting to that point. I understand they want things balanced and perfection, but I gotta get this thing out there. We gotta get it going. But what's your feel on this whole bit, the updates that you've heard so far?
I mean, from what I'm seeing, like they are trying to get things ready. I just keep hearing weird things. It's like I know I remember looking over even just in the demo and stuff where everything seemed to have like a plus and minus.
Yes,
and that was kind of why does everything have to have a minus towards the end game?
Well, I could real quick. I just give it a thing. The problem was with Division 1 without the minuses, they were starting to make really broken builds.
Yeah,
and the minuses, I guess, their way of trying to balance it. But it doesn't feel good when you put something on and has a plus and a minus. So I'm with you on that respect. But I know why they're doing it.
Or like if you get a higher level, the minuses maybe a little less or something. Well, I also heard, and this is again like I haven't actually played because I was working on Sekiro so much.
Yeah.
There was a point where they like changed some of it was either mods or stats or things. So if the plus and minus, maybe the minus wasn't as big, but they also lowered the amount of the plus as well. Yeah. They like nerf things both sides down closer to 0. Is that true?
Yeah, that is true. Shout out to Siegfried. He said he actually likes the plus and minuses, makes you move deeper into it. It does. And again, they're just trying to do it for balance, but they still got to tweak a little bit, in my opinion. But we shall see. My main thing is though that specialization.
Yeah. So I mean, that was the big thing I saw in the article, and I even noticed that too when I tried the sharpshooter for the demo. And obviously things have changed vastly since then. But Tassie said it well. Is like the way this is set up. It's like. So I have a giant sniper rifle, but I have like 4 bullets. Or I have a sniper rifle that I have 150 bullets. So which one am I going to use? Yeah, am I going to miss some shots with both of them? Sure, but which one am I afraid to use shots for? Save it for like a boss fight, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you don't use it as intended. Exactly. The crossbow and then the grenade launcher, I don't know how those are doing, but like some of them, and then as you said, if the ammo's not dropping, it's very scarce in the first place. They're worried about like breaking things with it, but if you can't use them in the first place, I don't know.
It defeats the purpose of the grind. Let's keep it real. Like, it defeats the purpose of the grind. This is supposed to be your carrot on the end of the stick for that character build. Yeah. So you want to feel powerful, right? You want to have it's the equivalent of Destiny. You get like, this cool, heavy weapon, right?
No.
And it's like you're not giving me purpose. There's no ammo on the ground, right? It's literally kind of that same build. So you take away the fun factor of usage rate, and you want people to feel powerful. You want you know, it's like when you're playing Destiny and you have ammo in whatever that thing is, whether it's your prospector or your sleeper or your, you know, whisper. You want to feel that power of that weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I've kind of gotten the feel of from reading these things and catching these little tidbits about it, talking to you a little bit. All these pieces are just the fact that, like, specializations are good in theory, but as you said, if you've got more coming with each act or whatever's coming next for these little mini
they're going to plan on debuting more.
Yeah, one per each, and it's like, if none of them have much of a function in the first place, like, why are you making more? Yeah, it's hard to make a really big sniper rifle when you have an almost exotic sniper rifle that's just as good, and you have 100 bullets for it instead of 4.
Exactly. They've got to let the fun gate open a little bit on that. You know what I'm saying? I think it will come. You know what I'm saying? But I am surprised that they're being so stingy with it at this stage. They almost seem a little too careful, a little too nervous, a little too, you know. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. I mean, they got to get this raid out now. Now I'm at the point. You said it. You started hitting at it last word, which was like, "Yo, do you think they're taking long?" Now I'm getting it like, bro, you gotta get it raid out, man. You gotta get this.
Yeah,
thing
I mean,
on.
if you don't have like a date in mid-May, but it's gonna be 2 months by the time the thing probably comes out.
Yeah, I mean, people are still rocking. Player base is still strong, supposedly, but you know they don't want to do it. It's
funny that, like, was it I was talking to you or my brother or one of my friends maybe, Twitch players. I was looking at some point. And Destiny 2 is actually still over Division 2.
Really?
It's not right now. I literally looked right now. But there was like some evening I was just playing and I was scrolling through and Division 2 was like below.
Wait, this is console population or PC population?
They're right next to each other right now. No, on Twitch.
On Twitch.
On Twitch
I got
viewers,
you.
Division 2 and Destiny 2 are right next to each other.
Really? Interesting.
And like,
interesting.
I was like, so Division's above it now. But they're not. They're both low, but neither of them are like that far from each other.
I always feel though. I know because I sound like I'm making excuses for them. I always feel like Division ain't really a streamable game to me. It's tactical, but it's MMO tactical. It's not like Rainbow Six tactical where you're one and you're out, and it's just tension feel. Yeah, you know, Six Siege kind of thing.
Not as much of an audience.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like Destiny is just like space magic and boom and explosion. And shout out to Kutchin Army because he's going in on it. His disrespect of Division is it's almost like I almost feel that's Dizzy masquerading as another person because Kutchin Army, yo, salute to your Division hate. You in the chat. Like,
he's holding up for Dizzy right now. Dizzy may be sleeping, man. But you got him. You got him.
When Dizzy come back in the chat, you and him are going to be tag team partners with the hate.
You're not going to be able to keep up. You're not going to be able to keep up.
Luckily, Sonaldo, hopefully Sonaldo come back. But yeah, man, at the end of the day, it's you know, I get it, and I have to admit, like, Destiny is just it's a more funner game, a more interesting, bombastic kind of a game to stream, in my opinion. But it's just me.
Well, and it is one of those things too. I mean, Kutchin said it earlier. Is like you've got even if Anthem, like the gameplay in Anthem, is so much fun. Yeah. Like it is fun, but it's like it's short-lived fun. Because like you got the Iron Man simulator, you're flying around. The guns may not be that great, but like the abilities, it's the space magic piece of the sci-fi that for the moments of watching something can look really cool. Be like, and a skilled person can make something like Anthem, something like Destiny with like moving around and flying and jumping and supers and like trading things versus like the tactical hide behind cover, shoot, hide behind cover, shoot. It is a tactical shooter. They nail what they're going for. But again, in the viewing aspect, especially on Twitch, it's hard to like get excited and be like, oh, here's a boss fight. Yeah, here's absolutely. Like a guy, it's just like, here's another street or corridor or open field or like mission where you're fighting, you know, more humans and stuff. So it's a different game. And again, a lot of people do enjoy the tactical. A lot of people do enjoy the Division, the gear, the grinding, and all those things. It's like it did a lot of things well, but it is also the joys of games being an escape, games being a little away from reality. And there's a point where some people be like, I just don't want to shoot a human in the face.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, and again, it just comes. We've always said that. That's always been the fundamental thing with a Division player and a Destiny player. And again, you have to be more immersed into that world. You have to accept that aspect. And the majority, I think, are going to, from a streaming standpoint, are going to lean more to blasting monsters in the face, right? And to, you know, doing that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? I guess maybe if Dark Zone was a little bit more balanced or better, then maybe that could kind of catch stream, because I could see people maybe getting into some type of a mode with that. But, you know, for now, that's just what it is. But I'm actually surprised by that information. I'm glad you told me. I didn't know that about streaming them.
Yeah, so... but I mean, also when you talk about the Dark Zone, it's like there's another buddy of mine. He's playing Division and stuff like that. When you talk about the Dark Zone, he's like, Occupied is useless. People just camp the doors. There's no turrets. You just camp the doors, so why even go in?
Wow. More balance on Ray.
What?
More balance on route.
Well, it's like, honestly, there's a point where it's like, just to let people in, the crazy people who go in there as a pack, hey, go in. If you're camping the door, it might be hard to get out, but if you get out there and roam for a while, fun. Then you get your balance, like, even to Dark Zone, little PvP, you got the turrets on the doors. Okay. I still don't honestly see why you can't put a PvE one in the corner. You got 3.
Well,
I mean, that's kind of the thing. Like, you have, like, well, I mean, we both have at some point, I've asked for it, but... Like, in Division 1, it was one big area, so it is harder to segment it. But as they truly have 3, the rotation would be so easy at this point. To go...
I can see that.
Like, Occupied, normal, like normalized, and then PvE only.
PvE, yeah.
And just have that rotation. Because the other thing I saw Tassie was saying is that, like, now, until the raid comes out, which we still don't have a date on, highest gear score stuff, where's that at again?
Yeah.
It's in the Dark Zone.
It's in the Dark Zone.
And that takes me back to Division 1 of being frustrated and being like, getting camped, trying to get only the highest level stuff is coming from this one place. And I'm like, that's where you're going to start pissing me off. So it's like, there's a ton of stuff to do up to there. Like, you might be able to get to 500 and 515 is maybe what's in the DZ. And that's fine. But if the only way to do that is places where you're getting camped and trolled, it just annoys me. I mean, that's a lot of what those Occupied is.
Of Division agents, sir. Why are you going up against these gangsters?
I'm a Sekiro. I'm the lone wolf.
Exactly. This is an Ebontis issue. He refuses to play with
but my buddy plays with groups all the time. He's at the same mentality.
But you are not playing with groups.
I'm fully aware I'm not. Solo player for sure, 100%. But if you want to give more people some options, I'm not taking away your experience. I just give everyone a rotation and it doesn't hurt your experience at all. You still have a Dark Zone you can go into. Every week it'll change. So I don't take away your experience. I just add an option for people who want some like just a PvE option to go in. Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe it's just a way to be like, hey, go in. I at least know where things are at. I know where to look for things. I know. I mean, if I go into the Dark Zone now, I might not even get to explore that much or know where things are because I get killed. So it gives you more of a freedom to explore.
Mode where they kind of give you the preview of the Dark Zone.
You might be able to do it one time, but you can't just go in there on a consistent basis. So.
Shout out Abdel. He said make solo great again. Listen, we got to get Ebontis some agents. We got to sign him up to get a nice little group so that he's not getting robbed and trolled in the Dark Zone. We got to hook him up, man. We're going to make this petition so he can try it as a form of the way it is intended. Can't be going out there solo, man. These streets are rough. The streets are rough, man.
Yeah. So I think that's most of what we got for the week. Actually, it wasn't crazy long. So for a change, shout out to Ryken for your question. He's just saying, I hope they don't tie another title to. I just hope they don't tie another title to a flawless raid. Because for my brother, for Blacksmith, he's just destroyed because he played those forges like till he was blue in the face.
Wow.
But unless you do a flawless raid, that's both Blacksmith and what's the one for Last Wish?
Oh, yeah.
It's the Petra's a Run is what it is. But that's like one of the... You can do all the other things, but if you can't get a flawless raid team together, with guitar errors being an issue and stuff like that, it's just like, it's been... I know people have done it.
Tell him about Pyro. Pyro got him.
I don't think Pyro has the flawless.
Pyro doesn't, as much as he runs
I don't know if he has a flaw. He'll
Pyro's
raid
gotta
all day
have it.
long. I don't know. I haven't asked him. Ribbonsbane, that's the one I was thinking of.
Only thing that man don't got, which is funny, is you see his tweets about
1,000 voices, yeah.
Yo, his 1,000 voices tweets.
He's on like another 3 raids this week. No 1,000 voices. He's on like run 60 something or whatever. He's just been doing it since he got a consistent raid group on PC. He has Run Last Wish 3 times every week. And cannot get that damn gun to drop.
Yo, shout out to we gotta get Pyro on.
I know he's always worried, like, because he's always worried. It's just like, I don't know. He would be hilarious on here. So
we gotta get Pyro on. Like he's Harry. Yeah. Then I can chastise him on his Crotas and raids. That's another thing. I need to chastise him. That's all I got, man. It's been fun.
Yeah, it was a chill one today. I mean, there's not a lot going on in all these things right now. Waiting on the raid. Waiting on Opulence news.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Really, just don't
Operation
hold your breath
Boycott
on
Revelry.
it. Huh?
Operation Boycott Revelry.
Oh my God.
Stay strong, y'all. Stay strong. Keep that player count low.
No, well, that's fine. But I was like, if you need to go check some boxes and PvE stuff, go use the broken stuff to do that.
Absolutely.
So, like, I mean, I got Braytech Osprey and Horror's Least, and I was like, damn, got the curated on both.
I seen it. Yeah. I got that one.
So I was like, I mean, have fun where it is fun, but if you go into PvP and be like, this sucks, just leave. Don't go in there. So
2 weeks.
Yeah, have fun out there, guys. Enjoy the movie that has been released.
Yes, I go see it tomorrow.
That's Sunday morning at like 11, and then Sunday night at like 8 for me is Game of Thrones. That is an emotional roller coaster of a day.
Oh, I'm ready.
Well, it's gonna be rough, but it's gonna be it's a lot of fun. So enjoy everything out there, guys. Enjoy the weekend of entertainment. It's a good time to be a nerd and a one in tune with all of these fun things. It's a good time.
Coaches on a rise, baby.
All right. Well, have a good one. Enjoy. That's where we're gonna wrap this thing up. We got to do this timing right. So I want to do 3, 2, 1.
It's a delay. I listened to the thing. It's not our fault. There's a delay. Because when you're doing it, I don't know if it's what we're using, but I noticed why I was late. Because I was like, oh, wow, it's a delay between when you said it and I heard it. So, yeah, we might. I don't know.
All right, so we can try it. So if I do 3, 2, 1, I need you to like say, tell me when you hear 3. All right.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Heard it. And this is the last word.
So wait, hold on. So if I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, say 5 loud when I say 5. So 5, 4. You're not that far behind. You're like half a second.
Like half a second. So I got to be super quick.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll see if we can wrap this thing up. This is going to be rough with the delay. So, and that is the podcast, guys. So this is the last word. Nice. All right.
See, I had to jump ahead.
Yeah, there you go. All right. See you guys. Have a good one.
Peace.